Last week this time, I was standing in front of TV cameras from all over the world. Today, I'm at this Rotary Club, and I don't know which one's the worst, but I came prepared today for y'all. In the event anybody wants to take any pot shots today, I am prepared. Now, I don't know how many people saw Jay Leno last week. Anybody see Jay Leno where he insulted me by saying I was the sheriff in North Carolina, but he talked about medals. Well, I've got my own damn medals. I don't have to give anybody else's medal. Who has seen the current issue of Newsweek? Anybody read Newsweek? All right. Did you read about me? Well, I'm in Newsweek, and it's called Reefer Madness. Now, I don't know where they got that from, but I think I read something in a local paper where two attorneys might have used that same thing. But I want to describe what they said I was. Okay, here we go. In Richland County, South Carolina, the law is Sheriff Leon Lott. Blonde. Damn, I didn't know I had blonde hair, but I'm going to make sure that I fit. But I'm going to continue. The sheriff is blonde and photogenic, theatrical ex-vice cop who lives to bring down drug dealers and get his picture in the paper for doing so. Thank you, John Monk, for the camera there today. He has appeared on America's Most Wanted, and as a young cop, emulated Don Johnson's character on Miami Vice. I almost put the earring in, but I didn't do that. I almost did. He's appeared on America's Most Wanted as a young... Wait a minute, here we go. Locals have a saying that the most dangerous place in town is between Lott and a TV camera. But since Jay Leno and I are on such personal, friends now, I have, in his honor, the 10 top reasons why Leon Lott is a... Now, there's ladies in the room, so I can't use the words I've heard me called lately about. So I'm going to use what my 5-year-old calls it, the butterbean. In case you don't know what the butterbean is, it's the same place that Forrest Gump got shot. Okay? So figure it out. Number 10, it is only marijuana. It's not harming anyone, and everyone does it in high school or college. Well, in my introduction, I talked about how I went to high school in Aiken, South Carolina, and I did. Went to college at USC Aiken, played baseball there, and came up here. I missed that rite of passage because I didn't smoke dope in high school and I didn't smoke dope in college. And I venture to guess there's probably a few of you in this room who didn't do the same thing. So no, not everybody does it. Not everybody does it. Now, not hurting anyone. Now, Brad Warthen, you're in here somewhere, and I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I normally do not read your blog. But somebody said I needed to read it, so I went and read your blog. In your blog, you kind of talked about the same thing. Have you seen how it's hurt someone that was close to you? I've seen the same thing. I've seen people die from the use of marijuana. And that doesn't mean everybody who smoked a joint is going to die, or if you smoke a joint tomorrow, it's going to die. But I have seen how it has brought destruction on individuals and in families and as a community. You know what? Maybe that's why it's illegal. I'm a cop. I don't make the law, I don't create the law, and I cannot ignore the law. If you want it to be legal, talk to Senator Lurie. Get the politicians to change it. That's up to them. That's not my job. That's not what cops' job is to do. We're out here to enforce whatever the law is. Marijuana is illegal for everyone. Waste of taxpayers' money. I made a mistake last week when at the press conference I got asked about that, and I said the agents that worked on this case spent a total of 25 hours. That was wrong. I went back and looked at it. It was actually 16 hours over a period of 6 days. And I took their salaries and averaged it out, came to $20.15, and did a little bit of multiplication that I learned in school and came up with $322.48. That's how much money we spent on it. Now, I did deduct 15 minutes when they went and peed twice, okay? I gave them the pee time, and I didn't charge that against it. Now, this is a good one. I was only doing this to make a name for myself. But this is what one reporter wrote about. This was all about Leon Lott getting FaceTime on national TV and being written about in the AP, and newspapers. I saw 15 minutes of fame and took it. Now, I don't know if y'all really followed exactly what happened, but 3 weeks ago today, when the picture first really hit the airways, I had a reporter that came to me and said, "Sheriff, are you going to do anything about it?" My comments was, "We'll look at it, and if it's something that we can charge someone with and it's illegal, we'll do it." That was the last, only time I spoke to a TV station or a newspaper reporter or anybody else. I could have been on Jay Leno. I could have been on Geraldo. I could have been with Diane Sawyer. I had them all. Larry King called. Now, if I wanted 15 minutes of fame, I could have got about 35 hours of it if I wanted to. But we had made a decision. I had made a decision. This wasn't about publicity. This wasn't about me. It was about what was doing right. Number 6, I was running for re-election. Dang-gummit, I thought that was just past November. I got 4 more years. I ain't got to worry about that, okay? So that one didn't fly. Number 5, I didn't have nothing better to do. I am bored to death as sheriff. I hate to tell you. God, there's nothing going on. The photograph only initiated what we were looking at. Nobody from the photograph got arrested. We arrested 8 people who were stupid enough to have drugs on them at the present time when we went to go talk to them. Number 4, this is a good one. Rusty, you'll like this one. I'm running for governor. That's you, Joel. That ain't me. Number 3, it was just a college dope party. All right, now, college dope party. The people who lived on Blossom Street. Now, see, this wasn't the first time that the cops had been involved in that house on Blossom Street. Twice in October and once in December, cops had been there because the house was being robbed all the time, because they had drugs there all the time. And they had armed people running around that house sticking people up. And the first time the cops went there, when the people who said somebody's in our house, they come there, they walk around, what do they see? Got dope laying all around in plain view. If you lived next to that house, would you want that going on? See, it's the same attitude. Not in my neighborhood. They can do it somewhere else, but don't do it in my neighborhood. Number 2, Michael Phelps. He is an American hero. And I have to read a letter I got today. This one came today. To Sheriff Lott. Michael Phelps is a true American hero. You are a true American ass. You are acting like an ass. You're abusing the power entrusted to you. You should be removed from office. Get a life and try to catch a few real criminals before you hopefully turn out of office. Another disgusted taxpayer sent from Michigan. And then the final number 1 reason is why. And my answer to that is, how could I not? How could I not do something? How could I just ignore it? What kind of message is that going to be sending to these kids? Then we just say, well, it's okay if Michael Phelps does it because he's got these hanging around his neck, but it's not okay for you. Michael Phelps is no different than anybody else. We had to take the medals from around his neck, take him off that podium and that pedestal, and treat him just like we would anybody else. Yeah, I've heard from every dope smoker in the world. I've heard descriptions from me from blonde hair to hillbilly. My wife would not let me bring those teeth I wanted to wear. I swear to God I want to do that. But I've been described as everything that you can think of, and none of it's good. But I can go to bed at night knowing that I have done my job and my duty for what I've been elected to do. And I'm going to continue to do that. And it doesn't matter if it's Michael Phelps or who it is. If you break the law, you got to be held to the same standard. That's what the law is all about.